3, 2, 1, let's go! Hey, how's it going, guys? We're here with the second 2021 event exclusive figure, which is Beerus. If you haven't checked out the Super Saiyan God Goku one, there is a link above and below, so be sure to check that one out as well. And Whis and Nappa are coming, if they're not already up online. Now, the box design for Beerus is absolutely fantastic. I love the look of that blue colour. And if we swivel around to the back here, we've got a nice selection of the poses he can do, and along with the Bluefin Bandai sticker, since this is the American release. On the front, we do have the Tamashii quality sticker, the Purple Toe, and the Funimation one as well. So if you are buying this from overseas, maybe you got the Europe release or the China one, those stickers will be slightly different. So keep that in mind if you are wondering why yours looks different, or if you're looking online on eBay or something like that. So yeah, we kind of went over the event exclusive kind of cons, I guess, was a bit of details in the previous video, so I won't go over that in this one. We'll just jump right in and take a close look at what he comes with, his articulation, pros and cons. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay, let's check out what he comes with. So we've got the main man himself, the God of Destruction, Beerus, in the center, along with his two additional heads. He's got the open mouth one and then the yawning look. Down on the left hand side here, we do have additional two pairs of hands. So we've got the open spread ones. One's for holding something, which I don't really get why he has these. And then he's got his finger pointing one there. On the other side, we do have his tail, which looks pretty cool. Okay, check him out. I gotta say, I've never had a good close look of the original, but yeah, the EE one here, man, he looks nice. I love the colouring, the rich blue colours, sort of a metallic paint on his mantle, and then the gold trim as well on his front flap is really nice. Yeah, with the EE figures, the kind of shading looks really good. He's got a lot more detail on his pants, which is fantastic. And yeah, just the overall colouring of his body, I think, looks really nice too. It's a lovely shade of purple. And yeah, the gold trim touches looks extremely nice. His tail is pretty good too, despite only having 1.0 articulation. At least it has that kind of nice curve and flow to it, so it doesn't look too static when it is on him. He does have the old style nappy kind of waist joint, which is a bit of a shame, but he is a pretty old figure. So I'll be interested to see what they do when they come out with a 2.0 version of him. I assume they will do one at some point in the future. Perhaps I will get some articulation of a tail to it at the same time, which would be pretty cool. Anyway, let's jump in and take a close look at his articulation. Despite being a pretty old release now, I feel like his articulation is actually really good. It holds up really well. Let's start off with the top though. He's got a really great motion with his head up and down. And again, his side swivel is good as well. There's nothing on his body to really stop him from swinging all the way around, which is quite good. His neck does move slightly up and down as well, though it's a little bit hard to get at. It's pretty standard motion for his neck there. For his shoulders, these do move a little bit, so you can get the full swivel up and down, but the shoulder flaps here do kind of stop him moving too far up and down there, but you can kind of get up and over if need be. His upper arm does swivel around, and it's pretty symmetrical, so you can't really tell which way is the correct way if you're not looking too closely. His elbow though gets a decent range of motion. His wrists also have a fantastic range of motion. Moving to his torso, decent front and back motion there. Can actually move on two parts, on the inner waist and then the upper area as well. Down towards his hips, he can actually get out quite far actually. It doesn't stop him from moving too far out, though you are a little bit more limited what you can do. You can raise up and down as well slightly, which is pretty standard for these older 1.0 type hip design. and his leg is a bit more basic. You can't really get up too far since it's just on the 2 points of articulation. It doesn't have an extra kneecap like the newer 2.0 bodies, which is a little bit of a shame. And again, when you look on the back, the joints are extremely visible, which is a bit of a shame. Moving down to his ankles, his feet have no real issues with moving. You've got some great tilt action as well, and then the toe tip will move up and down. For his tail, you can swing it all the way around on his joint and go back and forward. So he does actually have a decent range of motion with that single ball joint in there. Again, it would be really cool if there's a couple more down here, but I guess for the age of a figure, if they did do that, it wouldn't have been that pleasing on the eyes. So I understand why they've gone with a single design like this. But hopefully in the future, if the 2.0 version release, we'll have a nicer tail there. Okay, let's check out the 3 faces he comes with. This is the default one that's on him. The printing of his eyes is extremely crisp and clear and looks really nice. He has a lovely yellow orangey colour for his pupils as well, which I think looks extremely good. The next face here is the open mouth one. Whenever I see this, I can just imagine meowing away, kind of that whiny cat voice. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. The colouring of his inner mouth looks good. The teeth sculpting and colouring is really crisp and clean as well. And yeah, the sculpting is nice too. You can get a slight indentation in his mouth there, which gives it a bit more depth as well, which is pretty cool. The third head here is my favourite, the wide mouth yawning one. And he's got a slight teardrop there as well. It just looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now that we've checked out his articulation and faces, I've switched over the 2 other hands he has, the open palm one and the sort of finger come here hand, which looks really cool. He also comes with a pair of hands which has a gripping hole. If you have any idea what these are meant to be used for, please do let me know, because I'm a bit confused actually, since it doesn't really come with anything. I was thinking maybe it's for holding Wiss's pole maybe? But yeah, anyway, besides the mystery of those hands, the other ones he does come with look really good, and his overall physique and body is looking pretty cool. So this kind of brings us into the pros and cons. The pros, definitely the colouring, the weathering on his legs down here just gives it a little bit of extra depth. The gold trim looks great, and the metallic blue colour of his collar looks absolutely fantastic, I reckon. The hands are pretty good, and I feel like the scaling of his hands is slightly big compared to the rest of his body. But yeah, that could just be me. Let me know in the comments below if you kind of agree with that. The tail is pretty basic, but if I think about the fact that this is a pretty old figure, it kind of makes sense. But it would be cool to see a slightly better tail, or at least another option in there. To give you some extra posing options. Articulation wise, yeah, I think he actually holds it really well. He's really fun to use, and you can get him into some pretty interesting poses as well. There's some images at the end of this video, so be sure to check those out. Now in terms of cons, those hands that hold something, yeah, it's kind of weird. If you're going to give us those, you should give something to use them with, or give us another option. Maybe him holding a spoon would have been better, similar to what Wiss has. The other main cons, putting aside the fact he's kind of an older body type, some of his plastic parts might not be able to sit here, but on the other side of his neck and some of the arms where they've trimmed the plastic is a little bit rough. It could have been done cleaner, as you can kind of see on the inner arm here. But yeah, beyond that, I don't really have any cons. I actually really like him. He's probably my favourite super figure. So yeah, happy addition to the collection. As I was mentioned before, there are images at the end of this video, so check those out, and there's 360 and those same images on rockchala.com if you want to check them out. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Beerus. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. The next video is going to be Wiss, so be sure to check that out. Cheers!